How can I cope with the overwhelming grief and sadness from my spouse's illness and impending passing? People passing away in our life is never easy. It's one of the hardest things that we ever have to deal with. And even talking personally for myself, when my dad passed away, it was overwhelming my life. And the way that I learned how to control the emotions was that, number one, I had to realize that if I was going to make any change, I had to bypass this part here called the subconscious or the conscious, the part where I was thinking. And I had to find a way to get into my subconscious, or this part, the part where you don't think necessarily, but you just react and respond. I found out that there's a way through clinical hypnosis that allows us to get into the back of our brain and it allows us to make changes there. So it's more routine based, where it's not something you have to think about. It's not something you have to try to do, but instead it's something that comes out of you automatically, as it did for me and for many other clients that we've helped get through these hard times. One of the best ways to do that once you get into the subconscious brain is to create a new meaning to your spouse or your loved one's passing, or their impending passing in this case. And it's because, look, if we know that we can't do anything about it, if we know that they're going to go, if we know that their days are coming to an end, the only question left for us now is, well, how do we process that? If we know that we're in a place where we really can't help them, but instead at least be there for them on their last few days, weeks, or months, or maybe in some cases, their last few years, how can we be there without feeling extra, like this enormous amount of sadness or anger or guilt or the other emotions that are really negative, and they get in the way of supporting and showing support to our loved one, and to even be there for our own daily routine to try to make the most out of our lives. So in closing, if you're looking for a change, number one, consider utilizing clinical hypnosis. Number two, have the hypnosis technician help you subconsciously by creating an auto response, like an auto habit, where when you think about the person who's passing away, instead of just feeling those heavy sadness or heavy guilt or heavy angry feelings, whatever it is that you're feeling, instead tell them what you want to feel. And that's the power of clinical hypnosis, is that it gives you a chance to choose, what do you want to feel? Like, how do you want to show up? How do you want to live your life during this really hard time? And it doesn't mean you don't feel pain. It doesn't mean you don't feel sadness. Of course you will. It's someone that you love that's passing. But the amount, it's not going to be so extraordinary. It's not going to be so tremendous that just doing something like your normal daily routine, like going to work, brushing your teeth, brushing your hair, it's not going to be that hard as it has been all this time. It's a chance for you to regain your life, to get control over your life back during a time where it's probably one of the hardest for any of us to face. So use clinical hypnosis, find a good practitioner, and tell them, how do you want to show up daily? And they can help create those kind of feelings in you, so you're not battling yourself, but instead you're able to live your life. You can live it a lot more steadily and emotionally balanced during a really, really hard time.